Hi, greetings from the Pacific Northwest. Bo back here again. Thought I'd just, this time we're going to do a little bit different take on what kind of records have I been buying. I don't know that vinyl fines are still any type of thing, and these are records that I've been buying over the last, couple of years while I was, not actively making videos. I'll explain the kind of things that I was buying. Anyhow, so I was kind of getting, when I stopped buying 60s, I didn't totally stop buying. I have not totally stopped buying, but I needed to step away from the kind of things I was buying. I wanted to explore new music, and the Vinyl Guru was really good about helping me to try to discover some new music. So I thought I'd show a couple of records that I picked up that she recommended. This is a band called the Lemon Twigs, and it's kind of alternative, kind of rock, good stuff. So I picked up a couple of their albums. I think this is the better of the two. This I really like. I've really kind of become reacquainted and refascinated with R&B, soul kind of music, and this is modern take on. This is Durand Jones and the Indicators, and I got a couple of their records. I think this is the better of the two. I've soul, R&B. I've kind of got, you'll see here in a little bit, that's kind of what I've been more into. Picked up a couple of their records. The Black Angels, again, this is kind of rock. It's more, it's kind of similar to alternative kind of stuff. There's a band who I recently discovered, and this album's like 20 years old. It's they're called, they're named after a hockey player. Les Dales Hawerchuk. Pardon me for saying that wrong. I know how to say his name. Played for the Winnipeg Jets. I've kind of discovered them recently, but they're 20 years old already. Interesting stuff though. It's really alternative, kind of edgy. It's kind of, it's not that edgy because it's more pop punk kind of stuff, kind of in the same vein of like Green Day, kind of somewhere between Green Day and Nirvana, but closer to Green Day, because both those are kind of pop bands. Another thing that I kind of became interested in was back in the 80s, I was more into like top 40. I wouldn't even say I was into new wave. I still live in a small town. Live in a small town, so there wasn't a lot of access to other types of music other than what was popular. And so you either were a metalhead or you listened to a lot of top 40. There were some people that were into alternative kind of new wave kind of stuff, but I just fell into the group that kind of listened to top 40. But my brother was kind of into the, back then there was like hair metal, speed metal, all this kind of, they had different names for all this kind of stuff. So I found, I was staying out of record stores, but when I would go to Walmart, I would find myself going through the record bins there, and when I could find reissues at the right price, like I said, I wasn't into the metal kind of music then, but my brother was, and it was just kind of fond memories. That's the thing about music, is it's what it reminds you of. It's like a gateway to the past. It reminds you of all the good feelings and the good times you used to have. So it always reminds me of my brother. So I've been picking some of this stuff up, like Skid Row. It's got 18 in Life on there, which is my favorite song they did. And of course, the big old power ballad hit. So I'm going to save these for the end. And I'm going to save this for a bit because there's a story that goes with that. Kind of was into some got into Chris Cornell's acoustic kind of stuff, and this is kind of in line. This is a solo album of his. This is Higher Truth. He was doing a lot of stuff too on XM radio, and he was redoing all the Soundgarden's old hits, but he was redoing them acoustically. Fantastic kind of stuff. Too bad, unfortunate loss. All those Seattle guys, a lot of those Seattle guys, other than Eddie Vedder, Lane Staley, Kurt Cobain, lost a lot of them. That's sad. But this is Higher Truth. This is more aligned with like my brother. One, Metallica. Well, it's Injustice for All, but the song One, which is based on the movie Johnny Got His Gun. The video that you see is actually the footage from the movie Johnny Got His Gun, which is a trip if you've never seen it. It's got Timothy Bottoms and Jason Robards plays his dad. One of my favorite quotes in the movie is the little boy. He's talking, because he's the soldier, as he's got no arms, no legs, can't talk, all that stuff. He's laying there. He's going back in his mind trying to communicate, and he was remembering a conversation he had with his dad. And so the little boy says to Jason Robards, he said, when it comes time, for me to go, would you want me to go to war and die? And he said, for democracy, Jason Robards said, for democracy, any man would give his only begotten son, which is a terrible line, but powerful. Anyhow, check out that movie if you haven't. I like movies a lot too. Motley Crue picked up a couple of their records. I've had originals of this, but they never quite were in decent enough condition where I could, I didn't enjoy playing them. They were too noisy. So having this reissue is even better. It's Too Fast for Love. And of course I picked up the second one, Shout at the Devil. My brother was not a super huge Crue fan, but I like those first two. I like the first three records. Theater of Pain's pretty good too. And then this Rat. Quite frankly, this is all the Rat you need. This is the greatest hits. Don't need all the albums when you don't really care for the albums, but you like the hits. So there you go. Pick that up. Now this is something too that Vinyl Guru recommended to me. This is Charles Bradley. He did a really nice cover of I don't have my glasses on, so let me see. It's a Black Sabbath song, Changes. Yeah, Changes. So he covers that, and he does it in his own unique style. I believe that this gentleman is dead now, Charles Bradley. Sad. He came into popularity after he was pretty old. He'd been in the game for a while, but it was towards the end of his life that he became popular. The song Changes too. It reminded me. I saw him telling a story on a YouTube video once. The song really spoke to him because it reminded him of his mother. So it's nice sentiment. And of course I picked this up too. Had to get this because this has got her version of Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, Big Mama Thornton. I like the blues kind of stuff, Anyhow, so new music wise too. One day, bored at work, or just doom scrolling through TikTok, and on my For You page this video popped up, and it was this lady doing a cover of another cover of Black Sabbath, and it was War Pigs, and I was like, whoa, that was pretty good. So then I started doing this deep dive. She covered 7 and 7 Is by Love. She covered Hello Stranger, which I really like that version. And so I became a fan. I started listening to more of her stuff. I took my friend Laurel. We went and saw, she was in Bremerton in December. I took Laurel and we went and saw a concert at the Admiralty Theater in Bremerton, which is an old movie house converted. So nice intimate setting because it was, the music really just kind of, it hits you right in the face. The artist, Samantha Fish. So I've been picking up these. I did not get at Walmart. These I've ordered online. So we've got Belle of the West, which is kind of country blues kind of stuff. And then there's Faster. And this is the new one she did with Jesse Dayton. And Jesse Dayton was, I believe, the lead guitar player for Waylon Jennings. I think, you guys. This is a really good heavy kind of blues album. And this is the one I really like. This is she redoes Chills and Fever. This is the one that's got the Barbara Lewis song Hello Stranger, Chills and Fever, and Green Day. I used to have this on cassette back in the day. Green Day, another Walmart find. So you can find this up at Walmart. Very recently, I started going back to the record stores too, and I did buy some used records. I haven't done that in a long time, and I did buy a few. Here's one I picked up at Bob's in Shelton. So hello, Bob. I know you're watching my videos. I'm a big Curtis Mayfield fan, and I like the Impressions. I had several of their albums. For some reason, I only have let's see, it's People Get Ready. It's the only album of theirs I have left. But this is like all the Impressions that you need. It's the 16 greatest hits. So it's got Keep On Pushing. It's got Gypsy Woman. Brian Hyland does a really nice cover of Gypsy Woman, but the Impressions version to me is the superior version. So I got that at Bob's. And then a couple records I got at Rainy Day. There was a thing about Stax Records. Recently on HBO, so it might be on Max. Nice 3-part series on Stax Records. So I started looking for some Stax. I found this Rufus Porter doing a funky chicken. Picked that up. Nice clean copy of that. And then one more I picked up. This is a live album. It's a double album. This is James Brown doing Sex Machine. It's one of those front to back jobs like this. So there you go. Anyhow, so that's what I've been up to. I'm buying some records. Hadn't been in like I said, hadn't been in a record store to make purchases in a while. I had been in there to to visit with Bob occasionally, rarely even at that. Been doing a lot of work. So there you have it. Vinyl finds. And if that's the thing, we'll keep rolling with it. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.